G'day, team. Today I want to dive in the entire process when we're talking about meeting transcriptions and automating the entire process from action items through to then follow up on those action items, right? And so this is something that's very common in the business industry, especially around meetings and EAs and so forth, and having someone there taking notes in every single meeting, right? So just imagine if every meeting that you had in your business could be instantly transcribe, summarize, and turn into action items, and then have those action items followed up on. And that's essentially what you can do today when we're talking about artificial intelligence, right? And so you might have already seen the technology here. I mean, this is an example of Microsoft Teams. We've got the transcribe and the record buttons here, and then we have the actual Microsoft 365 app with the capture button here and the dictate button here. So you can use this. This is for in-person meetings, and this is for remote meetings, like online meetings. And that's the Microsoft Teams version. And then you've got the Google version as well. So Google Translate, you got the transcription button here, and you've also got the information, the mobile app that you can also transcribe as well. Needing these technologies is crucial as a starting point because then you can actually dive into what you can do. So I'm just giving the high level and I'm going to dive into detail. So first thing you want to do is be able to do the summarization. I think a lot of people have done this summarization process now, but essentially you can now do that summarization using that technology. But what's really cool here is the speaker identification, right? So on the online version, the speaker identification is a lot easier. But in the in-person, we can now do speaker identification based on, we record their voices, we upload their voices, we build an AI model around their voices, and then we know exactly who's speaking at any point in time. Why is that crucial? It's because when we're having a long-winded meeting, essentially this is a summarization of a meeting. This is obviously pages and pages and pages. What we're really focusing on here is the speaker identification aspect. You'll see here we can pick up, who's in the meeting, who said what, who's going to action what item. And so that this can be automatically picked up, and this is what's super crucial. The ones I've highlighted here, essentially, this is a conversation, and this is like a action that needs to happen, but no one said who's owning that. So you just need to be careful when you're going down this world. You need to actually stipulate, okay, who's got to do that action item? What are the next steps on that particular item, right? Then we will dive into the integration in your project management tools. We extract all those items, and then we can also do sentiment analysis around that as well. And this is all built into your ecosystems that you're already using today, which is super awesome. What we're seeing here is the project management system. So we've captured all that data. We can analyze the data. We can then pull that data out, and we can actually do action items off the back of that. So I'm using Planner as an example, but essentially you can use any project management tool that you have in your business. You'll see here that each one of these items that you saw back here, so these are all action items. You pull that out, and it automatically puts in here the action items, and then also who that action is assigned to, because that's, it knows who you are and knows the person, knows in the company. You can automate that entire workflow. And then if you want to get really creative in the conversation, you say, well, you action that item by next Thursday, or action that item by December 31st. And then you can put due dates in as well. Once you've got these action items in, then you set up a workflow, and I'm using Teams here as an example, but you can also do it in Google to then automate their process to notify that person in Teams, hey, you've got a new item assigned to you based on that meeting. And then in a week from now, you can also do a follow-up process. It's this whole process of minute note taking and action items. You don't need a person doing this anymore. You can fully automate this whole process. So I think we know the benefits, the efficiency, the accountability, accessibility. It's not a problem these days. The challenge I want to dive into is the accuracy. The biggest challenge around this is the language that you're speaking. So if you have a mixed race between English speaking and Spanish speaking, say people in the same conversation, if they're not in fluent English, then it's going to not get it 100% accurate. And so what I typically say is I say, can you have the meeting in your own language and speak in your own language? So the reason being is because the accuracy is going to be like 98% plus. If it's in their own language but a broken English, it's going to be like a 70% accuracy, right? So you want this conversation to happen in real time. We can use technology really effectively around their native language, not so much if it's not native language. The other thing is around privacy and security. You want to make sure that this is all housed in your ecosystem. So this information is not being leaked out back to the open web. And so you keep all this within your own ecosystem. So hopefully that gives you a bit of insights on what's possible. Obviously, it does take a little bit to get set up, but once it's set up, this is a game changer in your organization. All right. Cheers, guys.